Around about 6 days ago, Namibia celebrated its Jubilee, Silver Jubilee. 25 years of national independence. Namibia is this beautiful country that a great friend of mine refers to it as a boutique country. What resembles boutique? Probably beauty, tranquility, small, etc., etc. What fascinates me about Namibia is that wherever you go, in boardrooms, board meetings, workshops, we say we don't have capacity. We need to hire forklift operators. Forklift. We don't have capacity. 25 years. We need to hire truck drivers. We don't have capacity. 25 years. We have the inclination, the ability to decide that we should bring in nurses from Kenya, from engineers from Zimbabwe. 25 years. I've been very privileged to have been given a chance. At 33 years, I became a chief executive officer of a public insurance scheme. For at least 15 years, I've been an executive. I serve on various boards. And what's fascinating about being in this most privileged position is that every time we are told we don't have that capacity. But guess what? It is because we don't believe in ourselves. We have developed a national culture of not believing in people, in believing in one another. The best we do is to disable one another. Our boardrooms, our workshops have become platforms for power play. Who can speak? Who has authority? Who can be listened to? But what went wrong? It is the fact that the rules, the procedures, the decisions we are taking are alien to our own socio-economic conditions. We make rules. For example, entry into university. You must have mathematics and English, etc., etc. You must have 25 points. And those decisions are taken by people, you and me, nobody else. Past 25 years, those decisions are taken by us. What happens? 10,000 kids are pushed through the system. They can't access the system. And we manage the system. I love architects. My daughter is studying architecture. Architects are extremely meticulous in their designs. And I always wonder, how come we don't learn the way architects would design, the way they would plan, design, the space, all of it, and have a great building in the city center or anywhere else, a house, a beautiful house. Could we do the same with our people? Can we take our people and help them, enable them to do greater work? We need to do more. Going beyond the usual, going beyond the norm simply means we need to pause and really reflect on where are we going. You have an HR executive that resigns, moves on to another company. We ask the HR executive, who can replace you? HR executive, human resources. They also call it now human capital. So, the primary job of an HR executive, a human resource executive, is to create an enabling environment for people in that organization to grow and for that organization to achieve its objectives, its goals, its dreams. You ask the HR executive, so we have 4 people, 4 managers reporting to you. Who can step up? They don't have the capacity. Wow. Okay. So let's recruit outside the company, outside the business. You get applications. We are shortlisting. Am I right? The shortlist comes through. We don't have applicants. We only have 2. You go in the interview, and say, they're not answering our questions. He cannot explain a situation that he encountered or she encountered. You know where's the contradiction? We have this expectation about people. But we don't grow them. We don't grow our people in that expectation that we want. We spend 5 years with our people. We know they have weaknesses, but we're not helping them fix those weaknesses. We're passing by them every day. We need to start preparing our people. The future is too near. The future is way too near to be waiting. Public policies, procurement, for example. And really, I'm privileged to be on these boards. NAMPORT, it's a $1 billion company, so is Standard Bank. And we ask questions, difficult questions. We say, we want to construct a health facility at a port, or we want to build an office, for example. We're saying this particular procurement should be limited to Namibians only, up to 20 million Namibian dollars, for example. Our own people. We say, Namibians cannot do it. Oh my good Lord. It's real, it's sad. We say we cannot do it. We advertise for jobs, we're saying 10 years experience, 5 years as executive. Where were you? Where were you? When you stepped in, where were you? Did you have 10 years of experience? Why are we making it difficult for ourselves to enable people to grow ourselves, to grow our country? So we make the rules. All of us, one way or another, in our houses, in our cars, in our offices, in our society, where we drink, where we smile at each other, where we speak. Every time we speak, we're saying, we don't have the capacity. We have failed to grow our people. Yes, it's a strong statement that we have failed. But it's because we can do much better. If we don't say it, we will not have the agency. What are we saying? Give people a chance. Let's give one another a chance. I think I'm one of the very fortunate people. My mother used to sell fish and fat cake at the bus stop. I used to go help count. It's a common story through most of our people in our society. But I never dreamed that I'll be in a boardroom, that I'll be deciding on billion-dollar initiatives, that I'll be part of a society where I must decide where are we taking our place. But every time we move, we're saying, How do we instill confidence in our people? I traveled all over the world. I've met presidents, prime ministers, the guys on Forbes, that big list of the great guys, the billionaires and so forth. One thing that's always struck me was in all those boardrooms, meeting rooms, Singapore in particular, China more so, you'll always find young people presenting to an audience, highly sophisticated audience, but young people. Yesterday I had a meeting in this particular hotel. They brought 2, 3 young guys, and it will be so near impossible for a Namibian business, a Namibian company to bring 2, 3 of those young people in that boardroom. What are we saying? Recently I started swimming. You know what happened? I went to school at St. Joseph Dobra, just a few kilometers out of here. It's a Catholic school, and there was a swimming pool, but more like a dam. So it'll be thrown in, then you start floating. Next thing is you think you can swim. As I grow up, I realized that, man, I need to work on my fitness. I need to be a little bit smaller. So I'm told swimming can help. So here I go for swimming classes, paddling. I'm just not moving. So I got a coach. She enabled me. She's teaching me 2 things: breathing in the water and floating and paddling. 3. Then I saw guys buying flippers, goggles, so I'm also going to buy. So the other day, me and my wife, we got those flippers and goggles, and there we are. And it struck me that, wow, if we can help people to learn to swim, if we can help people to jump into that water, into that pool, and help them to synchronize, to paddle, give them goggles, give them flippers, they will do so well. And that's what is missing. Our future started a long time ago. The future is today. It's not tomorrow. We must move faster in fast-tracking our people. We need to create opportunities for our people. We need to place them in that water, in that swimming pool. We need to enable them to float. And with time, they will learn to paddle. With time, they'll do 1 lap at a time. They'll do another lap. I look forward one day where I can confidently stand in our gym. That one. And I can do laps, like 20 laps. But that's what leadership is all about. Of course, it takes the individual. It takes a bit of energy from self. It takes that risk that you must take. But it takes more than a group of us who can believe in one another. We need to build confidence in our people. But the irony of it is, how do you build confidence if you yourself as a leader, you're not confident, you lack confidence? A predominant capability of a leader would be to instill trust, to instill confidence, to enable people to do greater work. Where are we failing? If all we ought to do is to help people move 1 step every day. We must not wait for people to turn 30. We do not have the luxury of time. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.